name's Gareth, and I'm here to talk about atheism, or rather the atheist movement in YouTube and our search from there in Europe and America. So yeah,
Give them a warning, let it all come crashing down, burn the castle to the ground.
people, atheists and Christians really want to debate each other, and until about after the 2010, there was tons of debates, like all times usual. There was TJ the Amazing Atheist, there was Him Better, Jack and Glenn, Dusty, Thunderfoot, Logic, all these sorts of YouTubers doing tons of videos on philosophy, logic, history, etc., etc. And there are talks of atheists a little bit around the early 2000s, some people getting disowned by the parents, which still apparently happens. I mean, just recently in somewhere in Bangladesh, there were talks of an atheist bloggers getting macheted to death, which was pretty shit. But a lot of it's died down. There's a lot less atheist YouTubers, and the main reason for that is two things. No, it's three things actually. The first is controversial. Advertisers don't like controversial, which is kind of annoying, but it's just the truth. And it doesn't actually change whether they get money or not, because they're actually losing tons of revenue because people really like controversial videos. But sometimes it gets attacked at the advertiser, which it really shouldn't. It just doesn't make any sense. They're just advertising. They're just advertising a product. It has nothing to do with the video. Now the second thing is that basically atheists started to become, well, so to speak, they're mellowed out. There are still atheist YouTubers every now and again, but there's less kids being disowned by the parents. There's less hate, almost. It's more about politics today, rather the SJWs and the left and the right, or the far right, as they like to call them, which has really become more of the big thing. And there is less, so to say, hatred, because a lot of atheists, when they were young, felt very angry at religions, and it still happens. There are still, and it's simply because they felt they were duped. But the thing is, not all atheists suddenly found out that suddenly decided that they would be atheists when they were young. A lot of atheists were actually atheists from the moment they heard about religion. Now, I wasn't. I found a YouTube video and I became very angry, very pissed off, and I wasn't immediately converted, but I did know that I was pissed off. So I went on and I decided to look at this stuff up. I commented very harshly to an atheist person in the comments, and I had all sorts of debates and stuff. Actually, the person I was debating was rather unreasonable, or at least I thought she or he was unreasonable at the time. And then later I still don't remember that much. It was a long time ago, and my brain's distorted the memories. But the point was, I was angry, and I spent several years writing comments furiously, debating all sorts of people online who thought that atheists were wrong, or thought that atheists should be different, or etc., etc., etc. I loved watching TJ and all these different YouTubers. I still watch Thunderfoot occasionally, although I disagreed with his views on Brexit, etc., etc. And now I'm currently more interested in the SJW clan. Now, the other thing that happened was that SJWs came in, and we simply became more interested because SJWs are just more interesting, so to speak, or rather, they're more threatening. Religion wasn't a problem. SJWs are a problem. I mean, people getting fired because they made a dick joke is a problem. Really, I think so. And a lot of people were scared or so. But not a lot has actually been doing about it. Not a lot has actually been done about it. I mean, tons of atheists, tons of YouTubers have gone on the Brexit debate, some for, some against, and it has certainly become a big thing. And so to speak now, that the real issue is that politics, basically, because people are, well, obviously, the one part of the issue is that in some American states, an atheist can't be elected. And well, that is part of politics because everything is decided by politics. I mean, you could introduce a law to stop parents from being able to disown their children because they're an atheist, and it'd be easy. And that's the point. The real issue today, the real thing where it's at, is politics. So you have all these channels now that are dedicated to politics, teaching you about politics, teaching about the news, giving you the personal opinions, and I think that's really, really good. And finally, as I said, there was three, but there was actually four. My main topic today is an article which I may be able to post this on the screen when I edit this later, but an article about atheists who being more likely to have depression. Now, I don't think that all atheist YouTubers saw this and decided to stop, because there were people who responded. There was a YouTuber who does astronomy at the moment now, which is another thing. Astronomy has become more interesting. I mean, have you seen SpaceX? It's amazing. And the thing, okay, let's see. Christian headlines: study finds religious people less likely than atheists to be depressed when lonely. Now, the thing is, the study looked at all atheists as a whole. What it didn't consider or account for was the fact that, at least at the time, especially more so at the time of all times, atheists and Christians hated each other. Like, maybe not to the point that they would kill each other, but they did. A lot of people hated each other. I mean, have you heard of anti-theism? Anti-theism is the idea that all religion should end. It should be stopped by force if necessary. Maybe not by force either. I mean, there is even a group of people who call themselves Satanists who basically mock Christianity, and people thought they were actually worshipping Satan, and there was this whole thing by the TV that was basically monopolised when it was really just a joke. I heard about this from some YouTuber, and the point is that at least at the time, most of these atheists were either hated by their friends and family or lost friends. I mean, there were some atheists who told their friend that they were an atheist, and they said, "I'm no longer your friend. We can't be friends anymore." There were some atheists who came out to their parents, almost like coming out of the closet as gay people were, and they were disowned, or basically forced to leave the house early, or had problems with it later, or weren't able to make up with their parents. I mean, you watch a lot of these atheist YouTubers have covered these topics, and many of them have had problems with their family and have decided to live alone. And it does cause depression. I mean, TJ Kirk, the amazing atheist, someone who I've watched for a long, long time, he's been punished by the YouTube algorithm and the anti-controversy bullshit that YouTube's been pushing. And the thing is, he really he has gone into drugs. He's well, not drugs, but he got addicted to smoking. Apparently, well, no, he didn't get addicted to smoking. But the point is, has done pot, which is legal in California and other states in America. And it's quite clear that he's been affected by depression to some extent, either because of lack of social interaction, or he's just been left over by YouTube and his family, basically. And that's the point. This isn't just been caused by, well, to put it bluntly, social media, without a doubt, has contributed to depression. You know how the studies have found people are more likely to be depressed recently, and depression and suicide rates are rising. Well, the reason for that is rather simple. It's because essentially computers have decreased people's ability to interact. Social interaction has dropped, and social interaction and sunlight are two of the things that stop depression, and they are two of the ways to actually get rid of depression and to solve it. And the point is that atheists had these problems. This study was done at a time when atheists were, one, coming onto YouTube, coming onto the internet, coming out to their family or deciding to talk to them, and two, when young people were going on the internet or getting addicted to gaming or not going with their friends. I mean, this is becoming more and more of a serious problem, to the point that it's quite common for parents now to restrict to the hours their parents can go on the internet, and that is the issue. So my basic conclusion from this is that no, religious people are not more likely than atheists to be depressed and lonely. No, having a God to believe in does not make you more comfortable unless you've believed in a God for all your life. And no, atheists are not going to. There is absolutely no benefit from being religious, and it's quite likely that religious things have cropped up over the past many times simply because people had no better way of explaining the heavens. I mean, when people thought, in the times when people thought the Earth was flat, which may have not always been the case. I mean, for example, the Greeks. Well, no, I think it was the Greeks. I'll have to research that. The Greeks who first measured the circumference of the Earth. Let's see. I can't pronounce that. Eratosthenes calculated the Earth's circumference without leaving Egypt. Who the hell is Eratosthenes? I did learn this in astronomy. I should really know this. Alright. Not 194 BC. So this man was born 2276 plus, well, it's the end of the year, so it's 819 basically. 2,280, 95. 2,294 to 95 years ago, and he worked out in Alexandria that using measuring tools that measured the shadows of the sun, that the Earth was a sphere. Well, they knew it was a sphere around that time. The Greeks did know that. It's probably been this case for a long, long time. And my point is that people along these times often anthropomorphize things. I mean, for crying out loud, in Asia they anthropomorphize foxes. They used to believe that foxes had a human form, they could become a fox. And that's basically projection, which is a common thing atheists have seen in Christians and other religious people for the past few years. Projection is where you project part of yourself onto another person. You project their fallacy or their issue or what they're doing wrong. And often humans throughout the past have anthropomorphized objects, animals. I mean, look at Asia now. The Asian market has lots of games where they anthropomorphize ships, which is kind of crazy. I mean, there's a Japanese web novel about someone who's reincarnated as a vending machine, and another one where he's reincarnated as a flying sword. It's just part of human nature. We anthropomorphize things. You see faces in clouds. Now that's part of pattern recognition, but the main reason for that is that, as well as this pattern recognition issue, it has a proper name. I'll have to look that up later. Is that humans tend to anthropomorphize things. They tend to see themselves in other things, and there's nothing particularly wrong with that. It's just that it's not always necessarily true. I mean, think of God. A lot of religious people connect themselves to God. Maybe they don't realize it, but they see themselves as God. Well, not directly, but there's tons of ideas that they are God, or that they are part of God. And that's actually quite fascinating because of, well, AI. Because if we do start uploading ourselves to machines and create an AI that is created out of lots of human minds uploaded and assimilated together, like, the Borg in Star Trek, then that could potentially eventually become a supermass mind and start going around deconstructing stars and the orbiting planets and using them for energy and becoming bigger and bigger and bigger and more powerful, which was an idea done by Excurvi1A. I'll put a link to his channel in the video's description. So yeah, the real talk. Being an atheist doesn't make you more likely to be depressed. Being an internet addict or a game addict and having no friends or church to help you get out of it is more likely to make you depressed. Nice. And that is your boy Jared out. For Brexit.
Fire is burning. cast in his shadow. People are watching, waiting.